All right, we're on.
My name is Barry Baker.
All right, and Barry Baker, where are you from?
From Huntington Beach, California.
Huntington Beach?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you think of this Hot Bodies Cyclone TC here?
I think it's awesome. The car, I've driven many cars in the industry. There's very few that I would say that are competitive to win day in and day out, and the Cyclone TC is one of the cars I would say is in the market. There's probably 2 or 3 cars that are in that market that with any given driver could win the event.
So I mean, you have a big reputation in the driving aspect, so you're saying that this car for the common guy would be a really, really good car.
Yes, it's very adjustable. It is, what I like about it is when you make a change to it, you can feel the difference in the change. There's a lot of cars out there that when you make a change to it, doesn't really do anything.
What would you say the driving characteristics of this car is like?
It goes fast.
Well, that's
when properly set up, it's easy to drive, carries really good corner speed, and in racing these days, corner speed means everything, especially with brushless motors, the LiPo batteries. The cars, you can go buy a motor off of the shelf and be just as fast as the sponsored guys these days, because everybody's using shelf equipment. It's not like, you know, the olden days when guys had special motors and they had the highest graded batteries. Now you can race with what you buy off the shelf, which is great in an aspect, but the cars are just way fast right now.
So basically anybody can go fast in a straight line. You're saying essentially that because the car's corner speed, that's where the race is kind of won at?
Corner speed, because that's what makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
Right now, easy to drive, how a car is set up so it saves tires. There's a lot of cars that go out and they can go fast for a couple minutes and then the tires heat up and they either push off the track or start doing donuts because they're really loose. When you have a well-balanced vehicle where the car rolls equally left to right, front to back, and the tires stay in a cool condition, the cars work way better. And with the Cyclone TC, it's easy to find that balance.
So with this great handling car, who do you think was your toughest opponent for the KO Propo GP 2009 for the modified class?
Well, in modified, I mean, in the United States, there's usually 3-4 guys that can win the event, or the top guys that are looked at from their factories. You have Kevin A. Bear from Team Associated, Paul Lemieux, who's one of the fastest in the world from X-Ray, Rick Howard from Team Associated, Josh Cyril from Top Racing, and then in the U.S. usually you have Ralph Birch, and he was the only guy who wasn't there at the race. So I would say any of the factory guys that were there, those are the guys you always say, if they're the top guys for their factories and they bring them into the race, those are the guys you got to worry about.
So we had a great collection of top brass at the event this weekend.
Yes, everybody in the United States that is usually in the top 2, top 3, at the event was there this weekend.
What is your super stock class setup? Like motor, speed control package, like can you give me the basics?
In super stock, I'm running the new Checkpoint 13.5 motor.
Okay.
Along with the Checkpoint 5040C battery pack. I'm using an LRP SPX speed control, which is their stock spec speed control, which has the variable timing that you can adjust through the settings of the speed control, and I have it set on the 8th position, which is the highest timing there is. We've done all kinds of testing with a radar gun, and we found that with our motor and that setting on the speed control, it seems to run the best.
Now, for your modified class car, give me your motor, speed control package setup on that.
Team Checkpoint 5.5 motor. A lot of guys were running either 5.5, 4.5 to 6.5. Some people were using, the off ones like a 5.0. I found that the 5.5 gave the best for overall speed, torque, mid-range, everything else. It was an LRP, the new SXX speed control, set on the mildest setting that there is. With a brushless motor, it's ridiculous how much power you have these days. Also used the Checkpoint 5040C battery pack. So, also in the Cyclone TC.
When did you feel that you may have had this thing in the bag?
I knew starting on the pole after winning 3 out of 4 rounds, and I think I could have run 4 out of 4 rounds, but I made a slight little mistake in the 4th round of qualifying, which I suffered terminal damage to the vehicle where I popped the belt off. But that was completely my fault, none of the car's fault. I think it's the only time that I didn't really crash the vehicle hard, I just hit it at the right angle to flex the chassis right.
Yeah.
And it happens every once in a while. Just put the belt right back on and everything was fine. When I started on the pole, I won the first main pretty handily, pulled away. And then in the second main, I made my car for some reason had a lot of steering. Same tires, everything, just the track, the humidity coming up from so many people in the building, the track that was warm in there, and the traction came up. And I went to the end of the straightaway, my car was loose the first lap, and then the second lap I just did a donut at the end. I got really loose and spun out, and Lemieux got by me. We had a great battle for about the next 2 minutes. I got inside, I stuck my nose inside of him a couple times, but I just couldn't make the pass. And then he left me about 18 inches, and I put 190 millimeters in there and just passed right by him through an S section, the middle S section. And then he stayed about half a second back, and then he went through the sweeper once, and he traction rolled, and that's when I knew, stay in the middle of the track and you have this thing won.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And what about the scenario for the super stock class? Was there any kind of moments of...
After the first round of qualifying.
Alright.
There was nobody even close after the first round of qualifying. I think I qualified 10 seconds ahead of the field the first round, and I knew as long as I kept all 4 tires on the ground, I was going to win super stock.
Cool.